power supply for the Tesla coil is going to be this drill battery powered supply that feeds through cigarette plug this inverter, which is rated at 150 watts. It's more like maybe 110 tops. Out of that, I'm feeding this variac right here. I'm gonna power the coil and the inverter can't take it. There's how I got it set up, and it is basically grounded with my mains ground, whatever. And since I'm running it from a battery, this is my actual ground right now. But if I run it from mains, and I don't need this extra ground clip. Never did decide on buying a legit MMC, so I didn't feel like I wanted to waste IGBTs, so still cheap eBay 460s. The biggest main issues I had with this guy over the course of playing with it was not really the MOSFETs popping. The first problem I had was one of the capacitors on the voltage doubler portion crapped out. The other issue I had was one of the 15 amp diodes, which I'm using an MUR 1560, but one of those went and I thought it was the FET, but it wasn't. It was that diode. So far these crappy Amazon caps have held up. Got that bigger guy just wound in the back, which I need just a couple more 460s for that half bridge driver, which surprisingly drives this coil about the same. Hoping that guy turns out pretty good. Kind of how I've got everything jammed in here right now. Luckily with this power supply case came with that fan with a little circuit on there that's got a temperature sensor, so right now that's just how I'm doing it, using this little battery to power the driver circuit. I'm just using cheap 460s. It's going to be sort of a pain to replace those if they do pop. Now that I think about it, I can get away without an optical cable so long as I design an interrupter that is, I guess, less subject to interference. So it seemed to work so far. The one I'm using now, which I designed for audio PWM driving, works pretty good. The other random ones I've been using, including the 555 Steve Ward's interrupter for this circuit, doesn't work so hot without the optical cable. It's just subject to crazy interference at any time. Here was my winding jig set up. I really should have built a jig, but I got lazy. So what I decided to do was just put some hole saws. This is a 4-inch tube, so just tape some 4-inch hole saws on each end to give me sort of a centered pin, and one end I put on the drill, other end I've just got on this, zip tied in between this little C-clamp here. But then I would just basically take my wire, run some gator clips through it, and then sort of clip it on my shirt. It would just hang down on my stomach. And as I moved across the coil, the coil would follow with me. But I'd use my left hand to provide tension and then my right hand to control the drill. But it didn't end up as perfect as it could have been. But again, I'm using a cardboard former. Why? Just because I looked over and I had it and I decided, screw it, I'll use that. But that did still actually take quite a bit of time. If I didn't use this jig deal, it would have taken me forever.